Okay. Today we are going to review from 6th grade. How do you find the mean? Mean. All right. Does anybody know another word for mean from 6th grade? Anybody remember another word for mean? It starts with an A. Average. So another word for mean is average. Okay? Does anybody remember the first step in calculating mean from 6th grade? Okay? Step 1 for finding mean. Step 1 for finding mean. Yes?
Adding all the numbers and then dividing.
Wait, just step 1. Just step 1. You're correct when you're saying that the first step is to add all the numbers. All right, Chris, so we write this down in our notebook. Everything I write, you write. I write it down so that when you're doing your homework, when you're doing your classwork, you can read this and go, oh, that's right. She wanted me to add. Okay, now, Dylan, what is step 2? Divide by what?
3.
Always 3?
Always 2.
Always 2?
Always 1. Oh, but the numbers that no. That's left over. Last number is
Yeah. Step 2. Divide by how many numbers you have. How many numbers you have. Now some kids think it's always 2. It's always 5. Juliana? It's not. This number is always changing. So it's however many numbers you have. You have 5 numbers, you have 2 numbers, you have 3 numbers. So the number one mistake I see kids do is they always want to divide by one number. And it's always the same number. It's like, nope, that number keeps changing. So if you have 5 numbers, divide by 5. If you have 4 numbers, divide by 4. Juliana, can you open up your notebook and write this down? Just like everybody else. You know what I'm going to do? Chris, did you write all this down? But Chris, did you write this?
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Sham, did you write this? All of it. Look at that. I'm gonna add some eyebrows. Eyebrows are in. Wait, hold on. So eyebrows and what else is in?
Beard. Dark beard.
Eyelashes.
Dark eyebrows.
Eyelashes are in.
And your haircut.
Oh no, not the Edgar haircut. The little copetitos in right there. The Did you put eyelashes on your smiley face? Did you put eyebrows? I use blue mascara.
I don't have to.
It's over. It's done. Never mind. Hmm? Is that what? Yeah.
That's Caillou?
Like Caillou cousin.
Like,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
like the show.
You know what that means?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, watched it last night. I hate feeling old. Must not be old. All right. So I started working on my abs, and I did some sit-ups last week. On Monday, I did 5 sit-ups. I know. I was pretty proud of myself. 5. And then on Tuesday, I did 10 sit-ups. My 6-pack's coming in. And then I ate a donut. And then I did 12 on Wednesday because modified day. I had more time. And then I got tired on Thursday, so I just did 8 sit-ups. And then I'm like, bam! I did 30 on Friday. Get ready for the weekend. And then I'm like, do I have a 6-pack? No. I felt the donut. Here's my donut. Here's the oatmeal I ate. Okay, so I want to know, on average, how many sit-ups did I do?
Oh, that's like
30.
40,
10.
45.
Wait. Add them up.
I add them up. Okay, so question. What is the mean?
65.
Okay, so first step is to add them up, which is also known as the sum. So don't shut it out. So give everyone some time to add. We're going to be adding a lot today.
We just had break.
No, I'm kidding. The bathrooms are locked.
All right. Class,
Yes.
what'd you get when you added? 65.
65 by 9.
Now, some kids think I'm done. And I go, so did I do 65 sit-ups on average? No, right? It doesn't make sense. I mean, I barely did 30. So, don't stop there. We have one more step. What's our last step? Divide. Step 2. Divide.
By 20.
So, 65 divided by?
5.
Why is it 5? You're right.
Because they're 5 numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I'm going to divide by 5. Divide by 5.
Oh, you did.
No.
Oh, 13.
It's 100. No.
It's
5 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 5. So, Shem, do you have this? Or are we copying it down?
13.
I said
5 goes into 15 how many times?
1 time.
3.
5.
So, my mean is 13. Now, what does that mean? What does the mean of 13 mean?
You know the answer?
I do around 13. I average about 13. Sometimes I do a lot less, and sometimes I do a lot more, right? Like 30. But on average, I'm doing 13 sit-ups. Woo! I'm gonna get like an 8-pack like that. All right, are we okay with this? So far, so good? Okay. So then I started running the mile. Yeah, the mile. Right? Totally.
I did like 5 minutes.
So the first time I did the mile in this heat, I did a 16-minute mile. So all of you can do less than 16? Is that what I'm hearing?
I can do like in 3 minutes. I can do it
Oh,
in
what?
5 minutes.
Oh, my guy. In the mile, no.
Oh, no.
In the half mile, yeah, but
I
in
did
the
like
mile.
7 minutes.
Then I cut down my time by 14 minutes to 14 minutes. Yay, cut it down by 2. And then I'm like, no, I gotta work hard. Go drink some Gatorade.
So you got it down to 12.
I got it down to 10. Beat that. That's right. That's right. That's right. And then I had some electrolytes and a good night's sleep. And then I got it down to 8-minute mile. That's right. That's right. 8-minute mile. Beat that.
So simple.
Right? Do that every day. What is the world record for the fastest mile?
1 minute. 2 minutes. 1 second. 2 minutes.
Fastest mile,
3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes.
Oh my
I
God.
was 1 minute up.
3 minutes and 3 minutes
I
and
beat that every
43.
day.
Totally.
No, you didn't.
Imagine running the mile in less than 4 minutes.
Simple task.
Seriously. All right. So we want to find the average time, the mean time for my miles, or my time in running the mile. So the first thing we have to do is add them up. We have to get the sum. Okay, so quietly add up all of these numbers.
48.
Quietly. Chris, thank you.
Guys, I love this class.
Okay, who wants to raise their hand and tell me, Mel, what'd you get when you added?
48.
48. I agree with 48. So am I running the mile in 48 minutes? No. So remember, you don't stop there. We have to do the second step.
In 1 minute, you're writing the mile in 1 minute. No.
We have to divide by
12 minutes.
how many numbers?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to divide 48 divided by 4. 4 goes into 8
12.
2 times.
12.
So my mean, I'm going to write up here, is 12. So on average, what's my mile time? 12 minutes. Do sometimes I run it faster? Yes. Do sometimes I run it slower? Yes. But on average, I run it at 12. Okay? 12. Okay, so I took some science test when I was young. And the first score that I got on my science test was a 60. Yeah, I barely almost, I didn't, right? I was like, 60 was a D minus. I got scared. So I'm like, I'm going to go to tutoring. Then on my next test, I got a 70. And I was like, all right, I'm going up. That's good. So I'm like, oh, I don't need tutoring anymore. So on the next test, guess what happened? Went down back to 60 because I didn't go to tutoring. I thought I knew. So then my mom got mad at me. And she's like, no. You can't be getting those scores. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to tutoring again. Then I got 79. I was so close to an 80. So close. So then I got really mad. And I got a 65.
Oh my. Science is hard, but it's not that hard.
So then I got double chancla. And I ended up with the 71 on my last test. It's hard. Science can be hard.
I know. I'm a D.
How about F?
Okay, let's focus on this. Let not be this your story. You're going to go to tutoring, get some help, and not get these test scores that I made up right now. Okay, so what's the first thing we have to do?
Find the mean.
Before we find the mean, add them up. So yes, your end goal is to find the mean. So the first thing you have to do is to do the sum. So quietly on the side, everybody, without a calculator, go here, add the numbers.
30 to 60 is 22.
Quietly. So add the two numbers up. You do it before I do it. Kind of sloppy. Those second numbers. Add them up. Use your fingers. Alright, what do we get when we added all the numbers?
405.
Just like the freeway. Okay, second step. Divide. What am I going to divide 405 by?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good, Dylan. Divide by 6. I have no idea what 405 divided by 6 is, so
3.5. So smart. So smart. I should be in college right now.
totally. Let's do it. All right. Does 6 go into 4? Nope. So we put a 0 on top of the 4. Now I have 4D. How many times does 6 go into 4D? 6. 6 times 6? 36. Remainder 4. Bring down the 5. How many times does 6 go into 7? 7 times 6? What's my remainder? But we don't do remainders. What do we have to do? What do I have to do? Decimal and what else? 0. So I don't have a remainder of 3. I now have 30. How many times does 6 go into 30? 5. Dylan, is that what you got before?
Yeah.
Good. And that would be our mean. So this answer here is our mean. So on average, what score did I get on my science test? 67.5. So literally this is how your teachers do your grades. But we don't do the math. The computer does your math. So we add up all of your scores that you get in every class. This is how the math is done. They add up all of your scores. And then they divide by how many numbers, right? Well, how many assignments we have. In math class, you have a lot of assignments because we have a do now every day. So it's divided, and then that's how we get your grade. That's why when you log into Canvas or Aries, you see the percent, right? 73.7, 89.6. Where are we getting these random numbers? We're adding and dividing. But good thing is now the computer does it for us, which is, we like what the computer does it for us. All right, so here's our first little worksheet that we're going to do. I really like this worksheet because it breaks everything down for us. It gives us the numbers, and then it asks us for the sum. What's another word for sum? Add. So, take it 2 seconds and add 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. Okay. Now, why did they type in the number 4? But why 4? There's 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they wrote 4 for us. So first we're going to add. Then we're going to divide by how many numbers you have. So what's 20 divided by 4?
5.
So our mean is going to equal 5.
Can we do the work?
If you do it here, great. If not, if you're like, oh, Miss Amelia, I really can't count on my hands and my head, that's fine. You can go in your notebook somewhere and be like, okay, I have to add these numbers, right? So you can go here and add them here, or if you want to add them on your fingers, or if you want to add them in your head. If you want to write them down, you can. Whatever you want. So go ahead and add number 2. Go ahead and add number 2. Okay, so Alex, what did you get when you added all number 2?
3. Oh,
Add.
Oh.
What do you get when you add all these numbers up? 18. Do we agree with 18 on?
Yes.
And they say divide by 6 because there's 6 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's 18 divided by 6?
3.
Easy enough? We do have somewhere in this room. All right, ready, set, go. So, first step, adding. First step is adding. random number that I'm thinking of is 17. It may not be true, but it's somewhere there. Back to recording. Okay, real quick, we're going to fill the first part of this section in. So, switch over to this page in your notes. Right? Switch over to this. Now, what word did we learn or review today? What was the main word we were using? Mean. So we're going to do mean in this box. What about the other one? Does the other one work? Okay, so we're going to throw that. Leave that on the side. Purple, we're going to throw it away. Okay, mean. What's another word for mean? No. Average. The average set of data. So all the numbers, it's the average. Okay. Now, what do we do first? What's step one? Blank up your numbers. Add. Add up your numbers.
Divide the answer by how many numbers are in this. I'm gonna pass it.
So number 2, we are going to divide, which is what you were doing on the little sheet. We're going to divide the answer by how many numbers are in the set. So first step is to add all the numbers. Super easy adding, even with your fingers. And then the second step is to divide. Now I gave you a multiplication table, so it should be easier to divide. All right, so let's do the example that's listed here. What's the first thing we're going to do with all those numbers? Add. So go ahead and quietly, can you tell me what it's called sum is? So go ahead and add them on your paper. Use your fingers.
What? Why are you so easy? No, I don't need to.
Okay, we're recording, gentlemen, so we're going to add and we get 20. Now, step 2, we're going to divide. What are we going to divide by? 20 divided by 5. Write that down so when you're looking at your notes in 3 months and you're trying to remember, what do I have to do again for mean? Because it's on the do now. Oh, yeah, I have to divide. So what's 20 divided by 5? 4. So our mean for this data is 4. Because 20 divided by 5 is 4. Yay, we did it. We did it with time to pass out homework.